Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are joined on the channel by Chris, who you will know from Serenity or from Beyond the Black. How are you doing today?
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, pretty fine. Pretty curious and excited about the next chapter in the Serenity history, because Nemesis AD is getting closer and closer to be released and to be out. And yeah, we can't wait. And so we're pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Nemesis 80 comes out on October 27th. You guys can, of course, pre-order that right now via Napalm Records. I will, of course, also leave those links down in the description for you to do that so you can find it easily. You've had three singles that you've released videos for already. How have you found the response from fans?
First of all, a little correction because we have postponed the release to the 3rd of November. That
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Oh, okay.
misunderstanding. Yeah, but it was out 2 weeks ago. But no worries. I think people will know already. Yeah, and sure, we have three videos out. Two very cool performance videos. One really epic one with Ritter, Tod und Teufel. The first one, the first hit of the new Serenity chapter, of course. I think one of the biggest video productions we ever did. And yeah, and then we did a pretty cool, different video style for Reflections, a short version of an 8 minute epic song, but we had to cut it to four and some minutes because I think otherwise it will be a little bit too much for a video. And of course, there was the Fall of Man together with the magic of Roy Khan, and a really cool made a lyric video. I really love the style. This guy, I have to tell, I don't know, I forgot his name, who did the lyric video, but I know the company, of course, who did the artwork also for Nemesis ID, Credo Key Absurdum from Portugal. And I think out of their graphics, it's it's easy to make something epic because they are epic already. It's
Mm-hmm.
really a great job, and the responses are amazing. To be honest, in general, I never did so many interviews. Also, my wife is every day telling, "What the fuck? There is another three interviews today. You never did that many." And I was like, "Yes, it's like that." And it's me. And there's George doing interviews. There's Marco. There's Fabio doing
Mm-hmm.
interviews. So it's not like that I do that all. And it's amazing because the response is always great. I never had an interview where there was one critic told like, "Ah, you could have done this better," or "What have you thought about this? Maybe was this a little bit too fast, or you were haven't finished, or what you have been under pressure." It was really like wow. And just today we got the third biggest metal magazine in Germany. They just rated us on album of the month.
Wow.
And in a competition with bands like Wisdom Temptation and other big names. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
that they're just it's a 200 numbers amount of numbers of magazine printed magazine. It's really it's the third biggest after Metal Hammer and those magazines. So yeah, to
Yeah,
sum it up,
that's
wow, really
yeah.
wow.
Because this album run is the first time that I discovered you guys. With the Fall of Man, of course, Roy Khan is one of my absolute favorite vocalists. So he piqued my interest, and I was like, I gotta check these guys out and see like what he brings. And it's just everything I love and adore about like that symphonic metal style. And then you've got George's and then everything you do backing vocals too, correct? And Marco and just
Yeah, for
everybody's.
sure. I mean, in Serenity, I step a little bit back in vocals. We have really great
Yeah.
singers with George, with Fabio. Also, our drummer Andy is singing really, really good. And of course, with Marco, a front, let's say, a more lead singer,
Yeah.
maybe in my view, than a guitar player. Not that he's playing bad guitars, otherwise we wouldn't have him. But he's more always doing more vocal stuff than showing off guitars things. And so I focus my vocal appearance in Beyond the Black there. it's Jennifer, and there's my part for being the male voice. But within four, or in competition with four really good male voices, I do growls there. That's okay, and some backings. But I concentrate on guitar playings in Serenity, just so.
I was gonna ask you if you could give like a rundown what the album is about in your own words.
Sure. I mean, the thing is, Nemesis, the title, is of course, it's one of the artworks, the amazing masterpieces of the German artist Albrecht Dürer. He was born and yes, for some years living 30 minutes away from my place in Nuremberg, and I guess he's one of the most important and most famous artists worldwide of the Renaissance epoch age. Sorry, the Renaissance age. And yeah, so George came up with the idea to do an album about him, which we were checking out what we can do if his legacy, his life is really that interesting for us. And to be honest, of course it was. Otherwise, we haven't done it. Because the artworks he did, they are just outstanding, and especially also the names and the scene and the atmosphere of everything. So one of these things, it's an artwork out of a collection. It's called The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and one is Nemesis, this angel of death, and and we were thinking about, of course, Nemesis is a strong word for the title, but I suggested it's an Albrecht Dürer album, and what he really created, and is still something we as an artist still do today, is this signature thing, because he did first sign his pictures with an AD.
Okay.
It was this A. And then there was this D outside. It was also kind of artwork he did already, but he was the first doing this, because before him it was not that common that the artist putting her name on an artwork or a painting or something. So he was the first one. Maybe also that's why we still sign autograph cards or something like this. And so I came up with the idea, maybe let's put the AD there, but without the dots, because it's not like he used dots or something. It's really like just A and D. And fun fact, the people are really, I think in every second interview, it's like, what's this AD? Is it after Christ? Is it an add-on? Is it advertising? What is? We don't know. And that's cool. So because it's working, the people don't know, so we can tell. And maybe if they're interested, and if they get known about that we did an album about Albrecht Dürer, and if they step into his work, into his idea of everything, maybe they will see this, or get this AD thing, this signing thing, and then they all will know, it's Albrecht Dürer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look that up now that you've mentioned it and brought it up, because I was wondering.
Just look at the picture of Ritter, Tod und Teufel, what is included in our first video, because if you take a look, he was not doing it like just AD. He put, like I said, he put art. So there's a gravestone, and there is this AD, and just somewhere on the left corner, lower corner of the picture somewhere. So it's not like that you're focused. It's
Right.
really cool made. He was really cool with that, and that's why we thought about. And also, of course, there are some Nemesis albums already on the market, so we thought like not step in the same steps before, like bands did before.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting. Like, again, I'm gonna have to go look it up, and obviously, like the artwork in itself is really beautiful, and how you guys have brought it to life in the music videos and things like that has been really creative. And I was wondering what it was like working with like the legendary Roy Khan. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, there is a history between Serenity and Camelot, because before my days in Serenity, they were already on tour with Camelot. George is a fan of Camelot, and of course also of Roy Khan, who is an idol for him of the first days. So he said it was an all-time dream come true to have a duet with him on an album of Serenity. mean, of course, it would be also great the other round to have him on a Camelot album. But yeah, so it was easy, like how we made it. I mean, also our producer Sasha Pad, he's good connected to Roy as well, and we were thinking about which song could fit because the songs were already made. Let's say they were already written, but the Fall of Man was already one of those stronger ones in a line of almost just strong songs. Sorry to tell that it's not arrogant, it's not selfish, but it's somehow the truth. After even more than 1 year working on this record, I still love to listen to it as I'm the artist who wrote it. Usually you're just like, cool, now it's made. I know my song, but you still love to listen to that. And of course, I love to listen to his voice. And we sent him The Fall of Man and asked him if you're interested. He was absolutely in. He loved to do that, and it was he recorded his parts. We tried it out how they would sound together with George's voice, because of course this is something. Even if you have a great name or a legend on your album, it's the one thing to have this person. The other thing is, will it fit in the end? Because you could imagine that much, but you will just know when it's on your song. And and we got it. We mixed it together, and we were like, okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's become one of my favorites that I have had on repeat ever since I've heard it, just because the voices do mesh so well together, and
Yes.
it just sounds honestly like it sounds perfect to my ears, and I
Yeah.
love it. So, how do you balance being in two bands? Because of course you've got your family life, and then you're with Serenity, and then you're also in Beyond the Black.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in development, of course. The first time I got the request, hey, would you join Beyond the Black? I was like, yes, of course, let's do that. And of course, it was first like I tried to have this, but the problem, of course, as Beyond the Black is, of course, also getting bigger and bigger and more time on the road. My family, my young family, was just there 2 years. After before 2 years, I became father, and now we have a little family, and of course, it's getting not that easy anymore to do both bands. That is one of the reasons why Marco is now a part of Serenity, because we had too often the situation that I had a show with Beyond the Black, and there was on the same day or one day after a show with Serenity, and we had to take with us a substitute guitar player, and it was always someone else. It was always someone who was available, and of course, this is not a situation you should have for a band. And also I don't want to have, because I know how hard it is to always work with someone different. Even you play more often with them, it's not your musician. Then I'm back, then I play 2 shows, and then there is someone else. So George was asking Marco, after he was already working in Fallen Sanctuary with him. We know him since years on the road with Temperance. He was with us working already on songs for the former album, For the Last Night. And then he suggested, hey, I asked him, he could imagine to become a fixed member, because then we will have every time one guitar player at least with us. And if you are both available, let's play with both. Because, like I said, he's more singer than I think guitar player. So he's definitely not for him. It's not a problem to say, okay, Chris, you're doing solo stuff and all those crazy things. You're more guitar player than singer. You do this, I do that. I go to the choirs. I play guitars. And when you're not there, I try to copy as good as possible your solo stuff. And so the situation was then best a win-win for both sides. So of course, he's having great ideas for writing music. He's completing us on stage, because some of the songs always felt a little bit, let's say, there was a hole sometimes. When I play a solo, then there is this rhythm guitar missing, and so forth. When we play together, it's this typical power metal, more power metal situation with two guitar players, and that's a cool thing. So and also now this makes my situation way easier, because now I don't have a bad feeling if I have to tell the guys, sorry, I can't make it
Yeah.
because there's a tour with Beyond the Black, or there's a show, or even I don't have the time due to my family because
Hmm.
yeah, it's not like that. Things are changing when you are becoming a father, and you have a family, and you really are living for that, and you take it serious, because it's not the first thing on my list to be in the tour bus. I love it.
Right.
I love to be on the road, but I have a time amount of time in a year I want to give for the music, and everything else belongs to my family, and that's the easier way for everyone. So
Well, and it also takes that, like you say, it takes that pressure off of you knowing that there's somebody in the band already that you can rely on, and that's there to play the parts that you need to play. And like you say, it doesn't make you feel guilty about saying no, or saying sorry, I can't do this, or
exactly.
I need to spend this time with my family. They're, especially with young children, they're only young. It goes like that, it
Exactly.
flies by, and I bet you can't believe he's already, like, what, 2 and 3 months. It's
Yes.
probably
Yeah.
flown by. So, um, which song on the album do you think was like the most challenging for you to play, or to like come up with the guitar parts on?
Of the guitar parts, I think we have. Yeah, I never had this. Let's say epic. All lights, all spots on you solo, like in End of Babylon, because there's really this highlight solo, and it was, of course, the licks. We had to check them out, that they are difficult, cool, but in a way cool and difficult, I would say, like the all those great solos are, because a solo or guitar part, I think the difficulty is not always to write something crazy, to sit there and like
Mm-hmm.
this is something you just train, and then it's somehow working. Of course, a tone, you have the feeling still is something you have to have in your fingers. But to compose a solo, which a guitar player would say wow, but also someone who's really not with guitar playing also is getting, there's something happening really great. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but it's like, and I love what I hear. That's the thing. But in general, of course, the most difficult song, of course, to get written and to get the final touch on was Reflections. We never did an 8-minute songs and a song, and if you have so many different styles, parts, things, tempo, and whatever in a song, it's like, okay, where to start, where to end, and then there should be a solo. Okay, how you can write, what part of solo, what style of solo shall it be? And yeah, so this was really a challenge, but I think it turned out pretty good. But in general, like you said, I mean, yeah, I try my biggest challenge in sitting here in my studio writing and composing solos is that everyone who's listening to it, uh, or in general to the guitar work, is having something out of it. That's my main goal, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, because like myself, I have, like, obviously I don't play any instrument, but when I hear that guitar solo and it sparks something in you, and I'm just like, it makes you want to air guitar, and it makes you want to like keep playing that part over. I think that's a really fantastic way to go about it, and to think about that, because sometimes I think in songs, sometimes the guitar solos are a bit overcomplicated, or just a little bit too much, and it's like, they could have lightened up on that just a little bit for my ears, because obviously I go off feelings. I don't play anything. I don't know the technicalities behind anything. So I love that you do it that way.
Thank
I
you.
want to backtrack just a little bit. Well, quite a lot. I wanted to ask you, like, who or what inspired you to become a musician?
The first person who inspired me to start music, to stop playing music, was my grandma, because I was completely not playing guitar as a first instrument. I played accordion as a first instrument. I still have it from my grandma. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
I kept it when she died years ago. Just as a, yeah. something for my collection, let's say, and to remind me on that. And then it just started. I got a keyboard accordion teacher who was also a keyboard and piano player, but he played in a tribute band. And then my parents once took me when they played in the afternoon on a beer garden, took me there. And then, of course, he was my new hero because he played that rock things, the cool music, not this
Right.
polka and all that beer garden music. And then I wanted to play keyboards. I wanted to play Van Halen. I wanted to play Simple Minds. I wanted to play Deep Purple. All those great rock songs on my keyboard and on my piano. And then just by purpose, I came to the guitar because we started already our first band. I think it was 12 or 13. We played 10 to 20 shows a year on every birthday and every possibility we got on every youth club, however we can play. But then I got bored because it was just like, you're the keyboard player and you're just there in the back.
Right.
And everyone after the show was just talking to the guitar player, to the singer, even to the drummer. And then someone maybe accidentally came up to you. You're also in this band, and I was there. I founded this band. That was just mine. And then I was like, hey, you're going to a holiday, guitar player, right? You're flying away 2 weeks. Can I borrow your guitar? And and he just left it to me. And when he came back after 2 weeks of vacation, I could play all the songs. To be honest, he played in our band, and I was like, so now we have to find a keyboard player because I will become now the second guitar player and not being keyboard player just anymore. And then I got in contact with Sasha Gastner of Halloween, and he was then, let's say, the final mentor I needed because he really got so many thinkings, ideas. It was not just that he showed me how to play a great tone, how to play crazy stuff like he still does in Halloween, and it was more there. It was here and there what he showed to me, because to do things, to not think about too much, to not ask about, just start and try it out and be open-minded, because that's a good way to be a musician. And then somehow that's why I'm sitting here talking to you about Serenity and Beyond the Black.
Yeah, that's one thing that I do regret, is because my grandma, she was a piano teacher when I was growing up, and she did start teaching like me and my siblings, but as a child, especially if you don't necessarily have that passion, if you will, from that young age, and like I started it and I gave it up, and now I'm like, you shouldn't have done that, because I absolutely love piano and I love keyboards and things like that. That's probably why symphonic metal and metal like that speaks to me a lot. So I'm like, why don't you carry on? You had that great opportunity and your own grandmother right there.
Yeah, but I know that. I mean, that story. I mean, I'm besides my band, I'm music teacher for piano, for guitars, for that instruments. I have this story every day with the young people. The problem is, I always tell them, hey, if everyone would have understood that we were all the greatest musicians, we were all football stars, we were
Yeah.
all actors, we were all everything. It's this lifeline thing. Sometimes some are doing, some are not. The only thing is that you still have a passion for music in some way, because music is super important. And if you will find back to an instrument when you're 40, 50, 60, I have students, they start with 60 again because they did it as a child. It's just, then I tell them, you have to have fun right now. It's not about showing off, it's not
Yeah.
your job anymore. It's just like enjoying. And that's the most important thing. But also for me, I have to enjoy music as well, of course.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not working.
Well, that perfectly leads me on to my next question, which was like, what made you want to open up your own music school?
Yeah, two things. The first thing was passion. The second was I had to, because the problem is I studied economic science, so I'm master of economic science. Basically, or let's say in the last 2 years before I wrote my diploma, I got the chance to start this path in Visions of Atlantis that day. And the problem was, of course, I had a 7 to 5 job next to the university. I was playing music just in the tribute band every Friday, Saturday to earn money on top. And then I got this call by Wizards of Atlantis that day. I was sitting in my office, and hey, we just got known of you by a friend, and they tell you are a great musician from Germany. Are you interested? And I was like, hmm. So, and I remembered Sasha's words,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, don't think, do, because it's not like the doors in life are opening. You just have to go through. It's not like you have to think about what will you lose. And I was like, okay, you're right. And I quit my job in the office.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt, okay, I finished my studies. It would be stupid not to do it because I was already at the finish line. Just this diploma thing. I mean, half a year of work, and then that's it. So let's try that. And then I was thinking about I have to earn money
Yeah.
somehow, but I want to do something with music because I don't want to just work somewhere in a night shift or something. I want to do something with passion. So I started. I did this the American dream, let's say, because I was really in a fitness club next to my place. They had a room I could rent. So I was 1 day a week. I built up guitars there. I built up an amp. I built up a stand for the sheets, and was there standing with flyers and like, hey, are you interested in music lessons? Are you interested in music lessons? And then I don't know, 6 persons stopped and at the end and said yes, cool. And then we were really every Thursday. I remember sitting in this fitness room. Usually the people were training there. Around us there was the gym, so after behind the windows there were the people lifting
Mm-hmm.
uh, their, their weight, and I was sitting there and teaching guitars. And then there was a room, an own building free. So I thought with a friend, let's rent this and start a music school. Let's try this. And we did it, and it was just like, hey, everyone was looking for us, let's say, because there was nothing like us, no real musicians teaching
Mm-hmm.
people, um, musicians that are on the road worldwide. And that's why I kept this path, because it really was like cool. And I learned to love, to bring this experiences, this passion for music to the next generation, to really push. If there is someone who wants to get pushed, also to, hey, follow this thing. Always have the school on top, of course. It's not that stupid to have a good exam or whatever, because it's worth it today. But if you're a dream musician, do that.
Yeah. That's really like I love that it was both from passion, but also just that need of what needing to live, basically needing that money. But then it's like turned into something else, and it's probably also helped you become a better musician as well, and just like all of the life lessons you learn from all these different people that come in and that you teach, and that's super interesting. If you could collaborate with anybody alive or they've already passed on, like your dream collaboration, who would that be and why?
No, the list is like, yeah, it's super hard because of course there are so many great people. I mean, if George would sit here, of course he would tell Freddie, of course,
Yeah.
without a doubt, would be him. Um, yeah, sure. I mean, there are so many persons. And even it's not just like in this musician that I will have, I don't know, do it or have one time play with Michael Jackson or with Freddie Mercury or who else. It's also in some yeah, business wise. I would have to have a tea with, I don't know, some of those really intelligent people creating stuff I'm working with, even if it's an Apple computer, or I don't know, or if it's the car I'm driving, because yeah, things. I think these views and these ideas, why they became on that uh, part, or that level in the things they did, is the thing that would be interesting in me. It would not just like, let's play, like I said, let's play to a
Mm-hmm.
chord, let two chords and write a song. It's more like I want to understand, or because it will give me something if I'm still on my right way. Because you, of course, still we're talking about a great album. We're talking about um, being musician, living this passion. Some telling living the dream somehow yes. But the thing is, you're so often also sitting here and thinking, is it worth it? Is it still the right way? Is it
Yeah.
still, I don't know, if you're a father, if you still, if I'm doing still the right thing in view also for my family, is it still the right thing after this? I don't want to tell this again after 2 shitty years. Of course, I was always sitting there also. Hey, this other life is also not that bad. There's something good inside. So let's see when everything is normal again, how comparing it, how
Hmm.
what if it's still good. But it made me also something like, gave me an answer to that really, yeah, it is. Because after I could start again, I felt, yes, these 2 years are, they have to be gone right now. So now I'm just burning for being this musician again on the other side. And so if I could share these moments, these views, that would be great. To some of a list, I would need, I think, 1 hour now to complete it.
That's understandable. Because, and then talking about, of course, about COVID and like the world completely shut down. Is that how you got your start on like doing Twitch streaming?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I had the time for joining this world of
Hmm.
streaming. I mean, the thing is, I would like to do it more often. I would, for example, like you just told me some days ago, you have your streams. Of course, it's something fixed in your life. The
Hmm.
thing is, I can't even plan that, even I want to, because every day is different, and even if I'm tour, I can't do it. And it's nothing. It's nothing. It takes something in a week. Let's say it takes energy, it takes time,
Yeah.
but I'm super interested in all those things, because I try to connect it. I try to experimentate with that things, and to be ready for something. I don't know, this streaming thing, this buying cameras, trying with lights and all this stuff. If I now do a video for a company and showing, I know, a new product, or I do a playthrough, I am just 100% faster than before, just because I've started to use the time I had these days, for streaming, for all those good and bad lessons I'm
Hmm.
still learning, and I've learned in these streams. It was not that I want to earn money or becoming the most famous streamer in Germany. I mean, if it will turn out like this one day, I wouldn't say no, but it's not on my list that I have to be there every day and really put my life behind streaming, because that's something I learned very fast. If you're not really into that and not having the machine running, it's this algorithm thing, then just Twitch is pushing you back, and of course your followers are leaving, and also the people watching you are less and less interested, because they can't know, will he be there, won't he be there. But I'm still into that. I try to make it still possible. I love it because the community on Twitch is
Yeah.
something, I never had before, and it's really a great thing. These Twitch fans, the Twitch view people, they are great, and that's why I still try to be there, because this fan base is something special in a very positive way.
Yeah, and they're specifically for you and what you bring to the table, and that's what I love about it as well. And because I try and do it every Monday and Friday, but of course life happens, and sometimes you can't do it, and you can't be there. And if I let my subscribers know, and most of the time I'm like, yep, that's okay, that's fine. Life comes first. Like whatever happens, happens, and we'll see you whenever you next stream. But I always feel like I'm letting, especially because now I've got that kind of schedule booked out, and if I can't do it, I'm like, I feel really bad because that it's like a small family, and
Yeah.
they're there to support you. And like you, I never did it because I wanted the money from it, or I wanted to get like huge on it. It was honestly the demand from my YouTube channel. They're like, are you ever going to start like live streaming? It would be fun to do like live in that moment reactions and have us give you songs that we'd like you to check out in that moment. So I was
the
like,
I mean, yeah, the idea was born like this. I mean, I was
yeah,
sitting there every morning writing that days writing songs. So I was thinking like, why I should just do that for myself? I'm sitting there anyway.
right.
Why not turning cam on? And now I do it just at night. I can't do it in the morning. There is the baby boy, and no
Hmm.
one is watching in Germany in the morning, so it's not a good time. But now I'm sitting there one day in the at night, and I'm anyway here writing. And it's not like I will show already the final song, but to show the people what I do and how hard
Yeah.
it is, especially also to write a song, because I'm not trying to do just things. I'm showing off that, or I'm the greatest person. I could do just things where everything is just glad. I would know that how to do that. That the people would just think like, wow, that's always perfect. I'm even not prepared. Sometimes it's completely a mess here. The cameras are not working. It's just like, hey, I just
Yep.
came here 5 minutes ago. Everything is on. Oh, I even have forgotten to rename the show.
Yep.
And there's a problem with the audio. So give me 5 minutes, because that's exactly what is happening. What would happen if the camera is off as well? Because
Yep.
I'm sitting here and I'm not prepared when I will write a song. So if you want to have something real, join this show, because it's always 100% real. There's no preparation, anything. It's just what's coming into my mind, and
Yeah.
that's something I love.
And that's pretty much how my streams are. Like, I'll have filmed something for like my channel, and then I'll like the previous day, and then I'll come back to my laptop and OBS, and I open it, and then it's all my settings are all messed up, and I'm like, seriously, like how?
Yeah, but that's it. That's
That's just
life. But I
life.
think the
Yep.
people love it. People love it. That's the
Yeah.
way it should be.
Well, I think because nobody's perfect. You can't put this perfect presence out there 100% of the time, because that's not how life is. And I think
No.
people appreciate when you are real and you are down to earth and you let them in a little bit, and because that makes them feel like they're not alone in whatever they're feeling or whatever they're going through. And that's what I love about it. But I'm not going to keep you much longer. I just wanted to know if you had any like last words about the album that you wanted, or like thanks or anything that you wanted to say to your fans that are watching this.
So yeah, first of all, thanks for the time. Thanks for the nice talk. It was really a pleasure to have to be here, to get the invitation to this interview, to this talk. And yeah, what shall I say? I mean, please really check out Nemesis AD. We are thinking, and a lot, to be honest, people think it's the best Serenity album in our history. We put a lot of passion inside this music. We put a lot of passion in the artwork. So not just get your stream on, get also your copy, because it's worth it to get a copy of Nemesis AD. Credo did an amazing job in the artwork. And yeah, thanks for your support, of course, all over the years, all over these hard years. You're still there. We are still here, and yeah, we couldn't wait to present our next chapter. Now here it is, and so we hope we will all enjoy it after and on the release on 3rd November, and we hope to see you soon on the road somewhere on the world. We don't know when we will be at your place. If it took you too long or it takes you too long, come over to our places, and hope to see you there. And yeah, and all the best. Stay healthy and stay metal, of course.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on and chat with me here. It's been an absolute pleasure. And of course, everybody, I will leave that pre-link order down, order pre-link, yeah, the pre-order link, if I can talk, the pre-order link down in the description, as well as all of Serenity's social medias, the YouTube channel, as well as all of Chris's links, so you can find him as well. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.